Click the links for Odyssey, BitChute, Audio at join channel, the various other links. So, first of all, the first thing you should know if you're on the internet or in life in current year is never apologize. As someone pointed out below, they go, "Don't bother apologize." Like people are starting to catch on to this woke culture. Like the woke culture spread, and then people kind of caught on to how it's being used is just petty tyrants on social media. But but people are catching on to the concept of, oh yeah, you might as well not ever apologize because they're never going to forgive you. It's not about forgiveness and moving forward. And even if you did something really legitimately objectionable, which is not often the case. It's usually some little. It's like people are blowing stuff blowing stuff way out of proportion, because like people are catching on that they want their Twitter dopamine fame. That's like they know that this stuff isn't real. There might be a little core of realness, but it's mostly, oh, if I get this on Twitter and I blow this out and I pretend to be so outraged, I'll get all these likes and tweets and followers and retweets and like, oh, I feel so good for a few days. I'll be somebody on Twitter. Like, no, it's Twitter's nothing, man. Go out, just go, leave Twitter alone. But people are kind of focusing, remembering that you don't apologize to people because they're not doing it to really have a conversation with you. They're literally just doing it for Twitter dopamine. And if they have to burn somebody's life down in the meanwhile, they absolutely will. Because a lot of these people are, the internet gives you a whole access to everyone on Earth, and there's a lot of deeply deranged people. Like, all it takes is a cell phone to get on the internet. So you're in touch with people who, a few years ago would have been in a mental institution. Thanks, Reagan. Reagan took those things down, but nobody ever asked why. Nobody else ever just reopened them. Seems weird that it's like society is just wants to destroy itself. Oh, yeah, the people in charge. It's like it's all by design. They're catching on that you never apologize because they will never forgive you. So this guy's not a really good example because he's Mexican, Jewish, so he's kind of confusing everybody. So they can't really cancel him as effectively as someone else. Anyway, so oh snap, this is whack, and hello fellow kids. So that's the soy boy who wrote this. I don't know what he was thinking. So when a soy boy comes with the fresh new jams, the fly, funky, fresh beat, Pac-Man, Walkman, Jordan tennis shoes, how does this make it past the editors? Because nobody cares, and comics is just kind of slowly fading away into these little cringy embarrassment. My rhymes are fat and my crew is bigger because Jesus Christ is my... If you remember that, I think that was from the 90s. It's on YouTube. You can just search Jesus Christ is my ninja, and it'll pop up. It's freaking hysterical. So someone pointed out the bigger issue that they had a non-European appropriating a Norse god, but it's a what-if story. So even if it wasn't, it's just deck chairs on the Titanic at this point for comics, but also for America in general, which is kind of a different video that I do this on Odyssey and BitChute. Like, it's just comics, it's just pop culture. Let's get his shoes in there. No, it's all facets of the same crystal. You don't have just one poisonous, venomous facet. It just seeps and spreads throughout. So since the writer is a Mexican Jew, he is somewhat protected. Twitter's entire goal in life is to hate blue-eyed blonde people, and when the person doesn't fit the bill, the story kind of fades away. It happens all the time. They rarely find the bad guys that they really want, so they usually end up with like Salvador Ramos types. Gee, the sheriff has been suspended. It took you long enough. God, what a shithole America's turned out to be. We're gonna go to a police station and we're gonna go to a mass event and we're gonna sit outside. Oh, that's weird, because you're kind of paid to go inside and stop the bad actor. Oh yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna, and worse than that, we're gonna prevent the parents from going inside. Oh, so this is what Weimar looks like. It's a different phrase, shade of Weimar, but it's still Weimar. Does it look like the Salvador Ramos or the Zimmerman types? It's like they're not exactly the right color, and then they get pissed off that it's so horrible that European people are just so awesome and nice. Sorry for being awesome. The thing is with comics, as people point out in the Twitter thing, it's like this isn't a huge shootout. He already apologized. It's shocking. He already apologized. He already bent the knee. Nobody cares because nobody buys comics except for collectors, and they don't read them. They literally might not even open the comic. They might flip through it, but probably not. It's like it comes in a piece of plastic, cardboard backing. They just buy it, and they might put it in a box, or if it has a cool cover, they'll display the cover on a bookshelf for a little while. But they're not reading the comics. Nobody's reading this type of stuff. This is insane. I mean, but Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing Captain America. It's like, okay. I mean, why don't you just turn in blank pages at that point? Oh, because that's not part of the humiliation ritual. So if someone points out that you turn Asgard into a ghetto, is that the statues are honoring the fallen soldiers of your realm. It's honoring them with the highest honor of great men. I mean, 2020 America is calling. I was camping with some boomers a couple of months ago, and they were talking about that, and they're like, they couldn't quite understand what was going on. They kind of had some clue, and I was trying to clue them in without getting too honk-pilled for them. It's like, anyway, you're pulling down statues of people like who matter, who did things that you could never hope to replicate, which is the 2020 America thing. It's like people who don't matter are destroying things of people who did matter. It's like, were they perfect and everyone? No. But nobody around the world is perfect. But only some people get icons built to them because they mattered. It's like tearing down the icons doesn't mean they still didn't make a change in history. It's like, but it wasn't what we would have done. It's like, yeah, but you guys are the same people who are pushing Bolshevism, which has deleted quite a few more people than anything these other groups have done. So somebody points out, tearing down icons and statues is it kind of tells you where the country is. It's not in a good place. But in Asgard, so these statues are honoring the fallen, and they're covered in gang graffiti. And this writer, Mercado or something, is like, oh, that's hip-hop, funky, fresh. So, yeah, but you never really kind of thought it through. It's covered in gang graffiti, and you're supposed to be honoring them, but you're defacing them. It's like, are you going to tear these statues down? No, because these guys were the good guys. They were killing in our name, and not in the other name. They're on our team. It's like, yeah, but in 100 years they'll be on the wrong team. Anyway, so he didn't think it quite through to turn it into. Now, gotta be careful here. So yeah, the writer had to apologize, and I'm sure they're gonna come out with just more funky, fresh, cringe, embarrassment, more blonde hair, blue eyed. That's kind of where they're safe. Is the strawman characters, the that kind of comic where they're just they're finding some internet bad guy, and it's Ms. Marvel has to go into some teenager's room like without due process or Fourth Amendment and confiscate some computer because somebody was spreading hateful ideas on the internet. And of course, it's going to be a blonde hair, blue eyed person. It's just that kind of nonsense that they deal with comics. Like, gee, Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel and Captain America, why don't you guys go to Detroit and Chicago? Weird. You guys kind of just skip. Oh, we're gonna use this internet gas to fight hate speech on the internet. Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe that's kind of on the list of priorities, a few steps down the list of priorities. So it's just so horrible. How does this stuff get made? I don't know. So it's Hammer time, and the Mjolnir has got graffiti on it, but it's his hammer has got graffiti on it, and the Rainbow Bridge has got graffiti on it, and it's his bridge, his people, and they're graffiti in their own buildings. Okay, so this is the rhyme the guy came up with. He's got style and he's got flair to boot. With his kicks, he's in hot pursuit. Old enough to know that he don't know all. He wants to have a ball before the fall. Yeah, all the dreams rain from the clouds above. He brings the thunder, best believe it, bruv. So when people rightfully and gently started to criticize him, we're like, oh, this is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And, I hate to say, like, oh, you don't have to be black to write a black character. If you're going to screw it up this bad, then I'm going to change that and say, oh, okay, maybe you should be black to write a black character. Which, it goes the same way, too. You should be white to write it, I guess. It No, so anyone can write a good character. Anyone can write any character, but not if you're going to do this to it. This kind of like, this is 1990s cringe. This is cringe on the level of Jesus Christ is my crew is bigger. That kind of cringe. Though oddly, that was kind of sweet. I mean, because they're trying to reach you any way they possibly could to save your soul. And someone said, like, if I converted to Christianity because I know this rap is playing in hell, so I'm doing everything I can to get into heaven. So this is a guy who's, hello, fellow kids, hello, fellow. And then on Twitter, they're trying to bash him and call him, these clueless white people, and people are pointing out these. Whatever. It's just so fucking lame. It's hard to believe it. Not only comics, but America has got this lame this fast, but it really has. Anyway, join me on Subscribestar. Join the. I won't say it. There's the two letters for Subscribestar. It's like, was that serendipitous? Was that or Patreon? If you're not into Subscribestar, join these two letters of the alphabet that make up Subscribestar. What a clever turn of events that was, Subscribestar. Anyway, I'll see you guys, Patreon, Subscribestar, and the other various links.